It's preparing.
Yes,
All right.
yes. We are good to go in FB also, ma'am. Now, just
Lovely,
one more minute.
lovely.
Yes, ma'am. We are. Uh, Happy evening to Arivum Aatralum viewers. Like today, we have a special person, Neerja Malik, my favorite person. I call her as a positivity transformer. Honestly, whenever I feel my energy or I'm not feeling really that great, if I just look at her, that smile brings a lot of ton of energy. So why so special about her? It's because we all have few strategies tragedies or few backlogs or someone who could have tried to pull us down, or so many things would have happened. We would have felt like, what is this life here? Am I, why God, why only me? So much self pity we will dwell in ourselves. But ma'am, amazing. A woman will go through a lot of, we call it as there is no social stigma, but during her time, from a young age, what are the social stigma she has to face? All those, if you know her journey, you will feel like, wow. Seriously, I felt the same. So I'm just glad that we have Neerja ma'am with us today to talk about her journey. And I'm glad, ma'am, I got an opportunity to, to host you today. So tell us more about, more about you, ma'am, because it's rather than me asking some questions. If you just to talk, it's going to just going to make in a lot of, it's going to touch a lot of lives, and it's just going to inspire people. So tell us about yourself, ma'am.
Well, Punitha, that was a very sweet introduction. But how many hours do we have? Because it'll take me about 15, 20 hours to talk about myself.
Oh,
Do we have that
oh.
much time?
No, not really. Not really.
Okay. So, to all the viewers and to you, the divinity in me bows down to all of you.
Thank you,
What
ma'am.
do I say about myself? You were talking about things I went through. So, to cut a very long story short, all I can say is that I had a wonderful childhood, loving parents, loving family, loving a very supportive background. Dad was in the armed forces, in the Navy. Mom was a teacher in a specialty school teaching the deaf and the dumb. I
Mm.
have a young sister, and we had a great time. Of course, I was a naughty child. Some people say I still am, but I won't talk about that yet. And so, broken bones, yes, a lot of broken bones, because if there was a tree, I had to climb it. And if there was a pond of water, I had to jump into it. If there was a wall, I had to run on it. So, broken bones. Also, I had a lot of miscarriages. Also, I had an 8-month stillborn. Also, I had premature twins by 2 months and 5 days. Also, I had cancer twice. Also, I had many surgeries like removal of the uterus and the ovaries, and two, three surgeries where they had to remove benign tumors. Uh, the cancer was just twice. And 2 years back, I had septicemia. But all that I went through, Punita, I want to tell you that I feel that what has helped me through all this is a firm belief in God. Now, you want to know God. See, I feel that my parents have never been God fearing, they have been God loving. So, do you see the difference?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
fear God, so you pray, but you love God. And then you are totally surrendered to Him so that you leave everything in His hands. And you are sure that He is going to help you out. So, my pillars of strength have been my faith in God and the knowledge that with the support of family and friends, I will overcome. Now, we always have a choice, Punitha, when we come across a problem. Idhar jaun ya udhar jaun. Do I go this way? Do I go that way? Do I take this fork or do I take that fork? The choice is yours. And what are the two forks? The positive and the negative. Now, let me let you into a secret. If you start looking at the positivity in life, it becomes a habit. Think what I'm saying. If it becomes a habit, it becomes easy. If you make positivity a habit, then automatically whatever happens to you automatically becomes a habit to look at life positively. And therefore, it becomes easy. So people tell me, oh, did cancer make you what you are? Is it cancer that is giving you the faith in God? Do you look at life with a different perspective because of all the troubles that you've gone through? No. I always had faith in God. And it didn't matter what God. See, don't forget, I was born in Srinagar, where our friends were Hindus and Muslims. All the schools we went to were convents. I had a lot of Christians. My father comes from an Arya Samaji family. My mother comes from a Sikh background. So now when people look at me, they get confused. And especially with a name like Neerja Malik, they wonder who the hell I am. And I'm very happy because, let me give you a little example. I'll break up the talk with a little example. There was an elderly lady. She came from Oman and 82-year-old had cancer. She required a mastectomy of the left breast. So her son said, please come and meet her, talk to her. So I went to meet her, but she was very, very scared. She kept running to the loo. She had a bad stomach because of the tension, the fright, the scare. And she looked at me and she said, can you come tomorrow? My surgery is at 7. Can you come at 6? Sure. I went to her room at 6 to the hospital, went with her down into the OT and standing outside in the OT area, just prior to the sanitized stuff. She was on a stretcher. I'm standing with her, holding her hand. And her hands were shaking like this, like birds, trapped birds. And I got her hands and I said, let us pray. So she looked at me. I said, shut your eyes. And I started saying, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasul. La. I carried on for 10 minutes, by which time she had a lovely look on her, smile on her face, and her hands had stopped shaking, quivering. There was a calmness, there was a peace. And guess what? When she opened her eyes, she looked at me and she said, you are Muslim. And I said, yes. Because it doesn't make a damn difference to me whether I'm Hindu, Sikh, Christian, Muslim, Parsi, Gujarat, anything. I believe in humanity. And from one soul to another, I was able to make her feel strong, encouraged, good, relaxed. Because the way she would have looked at it is, Allah has sent a messenger and he's going to take care of me. She went in smilingly to the surgery. She came out, she recovered very fast and she went back to her own country. So that is another thing. God has gifted me with all these ideas, with all these thoughts, with all these beliefs, and I just revel in them. I feel that all human beings are the same. I feel that the human kingdom, the mineral kingdom, the vegetable kingdom, which are the trees, the animal kingdom, we're all one. So I think life becomes beautiful when a sunset or a sunrise, when a little bird is flying in the air, twittering away, when ducks are in the water, when even a frog is talking. So I think we should just make ourselves receptive and open. And I think when you are receptive and open, then automatically strength, power, energy comes to you, and you're able to face all difficulties. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Punitha. I can't hear you. Now I can.
Humanity, yes, yes. Humanity and love, peace. This is what all the religions is trying to do. And whoever surrenders to God, they are all completely empowered and they can just give what they seek from God, or we call it as nature, or we call it as universe, whatever we call it. That is
Yes,
one. So that when we
yes.
surrender and when we are in peace, I'm sure we should be able to give it to what we are seeking, we will be able to give it to others too. So I totally agree with that. And I have got a message for you from in Facebook. People are watching.
Uh-huh,
Uh, yeah, there is like welcome to from Mr. Arasupi. He says,
uh-huh.
welcome to the stage, Miss Neerja ma'am. Your most inspiration, our younger generation. Lovely to see you. And in this so. And good evening. Yeah. And there was one more message
No,
from,
one second. Punitha,
yes, ma'am.
did he say young? Did I hear the word young?
Younger generation.
What am I? I am part of the younger generation, or I'm inspiring the younger generation?
You are inspiring the younger generation.
Because, darlings, I'm going to turn 66.
No, still, your charm, no one can replace, I think, and all your pictures are so beautiful. And I do remember, yes, when we had a discussion earlier, once you said that meaning behind that, what you're wearing, no, Neerja is naughty, someone carved this and he gave it to you. I was like, how quickly he could just gauge you and tell you quickly you're talkative or something like that kind of a word he said, isn't it, ma'am? So when the
Darling.
people could inspire, I'm sure they just belong to the younger generation only.
Oh, everyone. Yes,
Yeah.
darling.
Ma'am, and there is one more message, like
Uh-huh.
from Bina Sharaf. She has
Uh,
said hi to you.
hello.
Yeah. And your speech is bold and energetic. So that
Mhm,
is one more comment we have received it so far.
mhm,
Ma'am, I understand that whatever one person goes through, the rough roads or rough spots, it makes a person to soften and understand, like, how we could take it further. Uh,
mm,
it actually, when we are just going in a speed like 180 kilometers or 120 kilometers, instead of that, if we just
mm,
maintain a slow pace, we can just take each and everything slowly and steadily. Yes, ma'am. But I have seen you in as an ambassador of so many places like Pinkathon. And I'm sure you have also run in USA right now, ma'am, 121 days course, as well as you have also run for 2 days kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what I understood.
yes. So in the US, I was very lucky. The US Department of State invited me in 2008 for a program for,
Hmm.
it was called IVLP, International Visitors Leadership Program.
Okay.
And there were 14 of us from all over the world. It was breast cancer. Now,
Okay.
the thing is that out of all of us, I was the only one who'd gone through it twice.
Oh.
The others were from different countries. And a lot of them were wonderful people. Some were surgeons in breast cancer,
Hmm.
some were radiologists. One was a journalist, and the other women were people who were holding uh, good positions. And when I say good, leadership positions or running NGOs, all for the sake of spreading awareness
Hmm.
regarding breast cancer
Hmm.
and finding out how it can be cured, research, and also prevention, and financially helping the poor in their respective countries, whether it was Russia or Philippines or China or Japan or Macedonia or Turkey. So it was a wonderful mix of people. And for 21 days, the US government took us around to 6 different places, showed us all the hospitals and how they behave, how they react. But let me tell you one thing, Punitha. I asked them, I said, excuse me, but what happens after hours? Now you have a patient navigator, you have a social worker, you have a liaison officer, you have different doctors, you have all kinds of people, you have a counselor. I said, what happens after hours? And they turned and they told me, oh, we have 1800. And then they turned to me and they said, what happens to you? I said, I am 1800. I said, I am 1800 because I am available to my patients 24/7. They have called me at all hours, and I make it very clear to them that please feel free. Now, why do I want to say all this? I want to say all this because I've gone through it. I've done my graduation in social work. I've done my B.Ed. And I was so happy to feel that when I get treated, I'm going to come back to Chennai and I'm going to start the support group for cancer. And that's what I did at Apollo. I started the Apollo Cancer Support Group. Now, the fact of the matter is, why? If someone asks or tells a cancer patient, hey, be positive, it's going to be all right, don't worry, that person will turn around and say, do you know what I've gone through? Do you understand what I'm talking about? And that's where I step in. I say, I do. I've gone through it twice. Not only do I understand what you are going through, I also know what your family went through. I have worn those shoes. I've worn those moccasins. I've been there, done that. And that is the first thing that helps me form a wonderful, loving rapport with them. There's no question of where you are from, who you are. No. You're going through something. I've gone through something. And I am going to share my knowledge with you so that you can feel better. Because if I can do it, so can you. And somewhere in the beginning of our conversation, you mentioned something about why me, or that question, that this is a way you can tackle it. Do you know what I think? I tell my patients, why me? Why me just shows that you are drowning or wallowing in your own self-pity. So what do you think it's like digging your own grave? Now, when you dig your own grave, where does the mud, where does the dirt, where does the kupe go? It goes on to you and you get further pushed down, down, down. Till sometimes it becomes difficult to come out of it. I mean, even if you find Hanuman flying overhead and saying, oh, there's Neerja, and I want to help her. Let me see what I can do. But Neerja, what is Neerja doing? She's busy digging her own grave. And she is not open. She doesn't even know that Hanuman wants to help her. She's not open or receptive to being helped. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is why when people say, why me? I said, let's drop it. Because this is what it is. And when you don't say why me, there was this wonderful guy. He won awards galore on the tennis field. And then he got AIDS due to a blood transfusion. And all the press asked him, haven't you questioned God? Why me? And you know what he turned? This is so beautiful, Punitha. He turned and he said that when I was getting all those awards, when I was in the prime of my life and the prime of my game, I was getting trophies and, fame and name and glory and money and everything. Did I even once question why me? When I didn't question why me during the good times, do I have a right to question why me during the bad? I mean, isn't it a beautiful thing? So, why me anyway? And when the patients say, this stage, that grade, I just tell them one simple thing: put it in the cooper, baby. Put your stage and grade in the dustbin. It's not for your consumption or mine. It is for the benefit of the doctors. Let them deal with it. It is for them to decide, okay, if this is the grade, this is the amount of medicine. If that is it, add this. It doesn't concern us. I was told, Punitha, that I have only 25% chances of survival. And that also not in India. I was informed that I should go to America or to France in 1998, Friday the 13th, when I was diagnosed. And why? Because they had started stem cell research. But I cried for 3 days, Punitha. I wept. Did I cry for myself? No. My twins were only 7. After the 3rd day, it suddenly occurred to me, did God come down and say, your days are numbered, you're going to die? No. After all, it was a human being. And that is the time I decided that I am going to live for my twins. It was a determined decision in 98. And thereafter, whatever has happened, I'm going to live for my twins. So cancer once, cancer twice, surgery, 2 years back, septicemia, 210 injections over here. I'm going to live for my twins. And with God's grace, they're going to turn 30 this year. Well, I turned 66. So God is great. Punitha, can I share with you a few of the treasures that I have found in life?
Yes, ma'am. Would be
and
great.
I've put into my book, I Inspire. Love, God. And if you believe in God, then there is faith. If you have faith, miracles happen. And you know something? Even death is a miracle because it teaches you acceptance and attitude of gratitude every moment. It is so wonderful that we are alive. That attitude of gratitude opens you up to receive abundance. And when there is abundance, then you can enjoy living in the now. So these are my treasures that have helped me face, not fight, face every adversity that comes my way with joy. Because I told God, we have a deal. And the deal is, listen, buddy, you've given me the problems. Now it's your problem to give me the solutions because I am free. If I didn't feel that I was free, if I didn't feel that, I would not be able to talk to people. I would not be able to share my love, my joy, my experience. So he takes care of everything for me.
Absolutely awesome that 10 points, as well as what you're saying, why we have to fear to God, why we have to fight. Let us just face it, let us just accept it. When you just go and surrender with love, that is different from going and asking why me. That is a beautiful answer I ever heard. you know from 1988 still now you're rocking, and your friend Bina has also said that you're rocking. And there was one more compliment, that you are bold and energetic, you're actually rocking the stage. So that is the kind of the messages I'm just getting in Facebook. And yes, ma'am, when we are just talking about all these things, people will just stick to that. As you said, we just drown, and we just, when someone trying to help us, we will not even know who's trying to help us. So that is the kind of, you have nailed it, ma'am. That's all I could just say. People who just think very low, have so low self-esteem.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So let me tell you one thing before we go to the pandemic or the self-esteem. You hear me often say, let us face, not fight. So 98, Punitha, I ran to my father
Okay.
and I told him, I said, Papa, I'm going to fight cancer. And mind you, naval officer from the Indian Armed Forces, Aryan, took part in the 71 war, was awarded
Mm.
a mention in dispatches. And he told me, very sweetly, he told me, he said, Beta, why are you using the word fight? Fight is a negative word. It is an aggressive word.
Mm.
Why don't you say face? You know that song, Hum Honge Kamyab, we
Mm.
shall overcome. Do you know that changed my perception completely of anything I have gone through since 98. Don't face it. Don't fight it, face it. So if you hear any cancer patient or anyone say, don't fight it, face it. Punitha, those were the words of my father, who told me very clearly. And since then, I think millions of people, I've passed this word on. Let's not fight what is happening to us. Let us face it with positivity, because that is the feeling that will help us overcome it and take us on from a bad situation to a good one. Don't they say that when the going gets tough, it is the tough who actually get up and go? Well, that is what I want to share with all of you. Any other question, my dear?
Yes, ma'am, I do have it. One is about, when I was just going through all your YouTube talks. There was one particular topic. Let
Hmm.
me be Neerja. That topic was like amazing. I really liked it. Honestly, wow, what a courage. When someone says, "Yeah, be like me,"
Yeah,
that's not
be like
authoritative. It is
Neerja.
like,
That's what
yeah.
it is. Be like Neerja.
Yeah, be like Neerja. Seriously, it's actually needed for everyone to be like Neerja. Sorry, Neerja ma'am, because everyone has one or the other, like, as you say, like everybody do have some one or the other tragedies or something.
Yes.
But still,
Yes.
uh, be like me, live like me. It needs a lot of courage, just to say. So I want you to just give a brief on that particular topic. I was really impressed with that. Be like Neerja.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, before we carry on, there's certain very simple things that I want to say. Things like, what is fear? What is fear? FEAR. False emotions appearing real, or fantasized experiences appearing real. So that means that what we fear, in Hindi we call it bhai bhi. What we fear is not real. It's like going for a movie. And if something happens, you cry. When the lovers meet and running around the trees innumerable times, you're happy. But that is not reality. So, what is happening to us? Actually, we fear. You know, most of the patients of cancer do not die of cancer, they die of the fear of cancer. Punitha, Hindu philosophy is fantastic. It talks about a rope lying on the ground. And when we are fearful, that rope does not look like a rope. It looks like a snake. But if we are not fearful, we will see the rope for the rope and not the snake, and we will kick it. So what I normally tell people is, okay, all this is happening to Neerja. What is Neerja going to do? She's going to step back. Like a pencil or a pen, you put it in the center of a circle, and that is Neerja. You step back, and then you see Neerja from a distance, objectively, not subjectively. And then you say SDPA, study, diagnose, plan of action. And then you are able to deal with it properly. Do you know what pains is? Pains is nothing but positive attitude in negative situations. Do you know what faith is? Faith is nothing but facing anything in trusting Him. So beautiful, so simple. One more. Do you know what problems is?
Yes, ma'am.
What?
Not yet. I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to listen. Yeah. I know what problem is. Yeah, it is a problem that I cannot face. That's it.
Other da. Problem is other da. So problem is productive roadblocks offering beneficial lessons, PROBL, enhancing mental strength. Now, if you look at problems like that, then you become an expert at dealing with problems, because you separate your problem from yourself. You can look at it, oh, that's the problem. It's easier to say that's the problem. Now I know how to deal with it. Or to say, oh my God, I'm in the problem. As long as you're not the problem and a pain in the neck for someone else, it changes everything. That's the problem, or I am in the problem, or I am the problem.
I am the problem, or the problem is coming. Come on, chalo, chalo, niklo.
You understand, sweetheart. That is what it is. That is what it is.
Yes, ma'am. But I really like the strength what you carry. Whenever I see your pictures, not now, even your old picture, you got such a beautiful smile. And I understand definitely when you've just gone through so many things, but still, chin up, face it, and just make it. It is not just
No,
making it. Yes.
let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. Yeah, that's a kind of a cool attitude, and you just face it very coolly. So, how do you maintain the cool pace, ma'am?
There is another secret.
Okay.
Listen to these words. Let go, let God.
Okay. You're such a special person, ma'am.
So if you think I am the doer, and if you think, oh, this is happening because of me, you finished. Whereas
Yes.
if you think, let me let go. Why am I burdening myself with all this? Yes, I've gone through it. See, Punitha, if you have been diagnosed, if anyone has been diagnosed with anything, the first thing I say is, please don't put it under the carpet. Please accept it. Because a lot of problems happen when you go into denial. So you have to accept your problem, face it. Say, yes, I have a problem. Cry a bit, lighten yourself, talk to people. Nowadays, youth, for instance, is so self-conscious. Youth is so, you were talking about self-esteem, right? And I tell people, I said, when I was a kid, I was an adolescent. I also went through this. I always thought, oh, that group is talking about me. As you grow up, you realize that lot of people has better things to do than to bother or waste their time talking about you. But this is a fact of life. When you are young, you think that everyone is talking about you. And you think, oh my God, the boys will probably think, is my zipper open? The girls would think, you know, various things. You understand? You think the worst. Have I torn my skirt? So, if you are facing a problem, and when we were young, Punitha, so much of our energy got expended running on the roads, cycling, playing gulli danda, hiding. We used to do phenomenal stuff. And those friendships, I have friendships from the time when I was 2 years old. But nowadays, that bonding, that connection doesn't seem to be there. Sometimes people in the same room, four people, they're all on their individual laptops or cell phones. And sometimes they're even laughing and talking to each other via cell phone or laptop. Where is
Ma'am,
that connection?
ma'am, they have
Yes,
even started to do that marriage wedding via WhatsApp video.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So what the pandemic is forcing us all into? Now that is when the youth, already burdened with their own feelings of insecurity, self-consciousness,
Mm.
lack of self-esteem. My, I know that people who are watching us talk, chat, are of all ages and stages. I have one thing to tell the youth, Punitha, today, that please, if you are going through any problem, any kind of depression, please share it with your family. Sometimes you just want to lock yourself in a room. You don't want your family to, you feel they're
Mm.
interfering.
Mm.
But please, if you are upset and if you're going through bad times, your family is hurting just as much as you are. If I've gone through cancer and so many things, you think my family didn't go through worse? My thing was, I'm the patient. I'm going through something. I'm going through it. But the
Mm.
family suffers more. So please open your gates of communication to your family. They love you. And there is no harm. We've just gone through the month of mental health. There
Yes.
is no harm. It doesn't cut your nose, as they say, to ask or reach out for help from a counselor, a mental health expert. It's no harm. It's not a stigma. In fact, it just shows that if you are willing to do that, then you are taking care of yourself. You're making the first steps towards healing yourself and getting better. You are part of the getting better movement for yourself. So I hope I've made that very clear. There's no harm and there's no shame. That's the right word. There's no shame in sharing. What do they say? When you share your troubles, they become how?
Mm.
Isn't that? That is what we should do. If we can share our joys, we must share our sorrows. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. I think now social media has become a, not only sharing of joys and sorrows, even the fights and the rebellious fights, religious fights, so many things happening in.
It's
Yeah.
sad. I mean, some of it is good.
World.
Digitalization is here to stay, but some people misuse it, and it's like yellow journalism getting into these streams also.
Yeah.
But then there are great talks like you and me. We're doing great.
Yes, yes, yes. I like that. Ma'am, I also have a question. Like, since you are a cancer counselor, and the way you talk, I can definitely, when we even had an interaction itself, I just felt the first meeting with you was like to take, ma'am, can I take a selfie with you? Was my first question. You were, ma'am, I just remember now your whistle. Your whistle for the audience, please. That's
Right.
a signature, signature of Neerja, ma'am.
Are
Signature
you
whistle.
ready?
Yes, I am
Come
ready.
first.
I am ready. We are ready.
How is that?
Super, ma'am. Fantastic. Fantastic. I always used to cherish that energy. Awesome. Awesome. And the way you dance. Everything is used to be.
Balle, balle. Punitha, I just want to tell you one thing. Whatever good, and there's a lot of good happening to me in my life. Whatever good happens, there is a deep sense of gratitude to God for giving me my family, for giving me my problems, you could say, for giving me everything, my twins, my everyone, my friends. So the bottom line here, Punitha, is that when I hear people tell me, you didn't come. There's a dear friend of mine, Sadhna Rajkumar. She's the sparrow lady. She's got a PhD, a
Okay.
doctorate.
Mm.
And thanks to her, sparrows have started coming back into Chennai. She called me up a couple of days back. Are you all right? I said, yeah, fine. I'm fine. She said, I didn't see any post on Facebook. Now, there are
Yeah.
a lot of people who tell me this often that we start our day opening Facebook to see what you're up to and then doing it. When I went through from February, I actually started falling sick in November of 2017. And I was diagnosed with septicemia in February. And my treatment carried on till August,
Okay.
my injections and everything. But you know what I used to do? However sick I was, every day I would open the Facebook. I've done so much in so many years that there was always something in Facebook to
Memories. Memories to share.
memories. I would, share that. And one day when someone came and met me at the hospital and actually, put a comment, they wanted to take a picture of me lying in bed with my, my IV coming in and getting medication. And they put a comment about my being unwell. And someone told someone, and I got to know. And I told that person just one thing. Do you know, if I wanted to talk about my being sick, I could have said it any time. But my mother is my Facebook friend. So I didn't want her to know that I'm unwell. So I used to post something or the other positive. I might then, after posting it, drop, But the fact of the matter is, why did I do it? I did it because it's not just one person or another. So many people tell me, we love to know what you're up to. We feel, like you say, look at my picture or what I'm up to. There's something that comes across. And what I was telling you was that I don't ever feel that it's me. I feel that I am just an instrument.
Mm.
And that if through me, people can get
Mm. Yes, ma'am.
benefit,
Definitely.
that is what I live for. I am counseling lots of people on the phone. I tell people, I said, cancer doesn't wait for Corona. People are still going through diagnosis, through their surgeries, through their chemos and radiations. It doesn't stop. And now that people have realized that I can uplift or just with my love and affection raise a person's spirit. I'm not talking about spirit, huh? Raise a person's spirit. Then I have been getting calls from not only cancer patients, from all kinds of people who are going through something. And I'm very grateful that I am able to just lend them a hearing ear and soothe them, change their perception. I've told people, you're not going to, your cancer is not going to go away if you talk to me, but I can change your perception to the disease so that you can face, not fight it, courageously, bravely, happily, gung ho, and be tough about it.
Superb, ma'am.
That
That's
is what.
fantastic. And as you said, I really want to re-emphasize on one thing, that when we
Hmm.
started, when I just open a Facebook, I do follow few people continuously. It is not a watchdog, but I like to get that vibration, positive vibration. So I used to see yours, and also another one is like Suresh Kumar, and now both of you, like, you write always positive note. There'll be so
Yeah.
many things happening during even COVID. Also, there was always a positive note from few people, which just made me to feel okay. Everything will be fine. What is the thing is, like, how do we accept it, and how we are just going to look the perseverance, as you said. We cannot change something happening like cancer and all, but what we could do is how we could face it, how we could accept it, the perception, that is very important. When there is a crisis, whether see that as an opportunity or we are just going to stuck there, that's matters, as you said. Yes, thank you so much for those wonderful thought. There is Gaushia. She said that she love your thought. Another one more guy. He's asking, what is your next project, ma'am?
I'm writing my second book.
Okay, that's cool.
You know, this lockdown period, there are a lot of people who are coming up with wonderful hobbies, like learning Spanish or singing or painting, drawing. Gives me time to write my second book. So I'm in the process of coming up with another book.
Wow, superb, ma'am. That's awesome. Really awesome and cool. I
Mhm.
think Arasu, she has answered your question. And yeah, and there is one girl from Gaushi Siddiq. She has asked the question: any illness makes one stronger, increases that inner potential to handle anything. She's also, re-emphasizing what you have said, ma'am. Yeah, my question is like, since you have seen so many people out of 22 years of journey, I'm
Hmm.
sure you would have met, healed, and give back a lot of people that life, that transformation from one form to another. So I just want you to give us the sharing, like, as you have already emphasized on why you have started it. Any particular incident you would like to share with us, ma'am?
Yes. Well, incidents are plenty, but you're right about one thing, that there is something called a vocation in one's life. And as time carried on, I realized that God decided, okay, she's a friendly person. She's done her graduation. So she's got the skills of a teacher. I've worked as a social worker in schools, as a fourth standard class teacher. I've, done voluntary work at Bal Mandir, etc. Lots of things. So why not make use of her? He said, let me give her all the experiences in the University of Life. And with these experiences, anyone who comes to her, she can say, death, I understand. Miscarriages, I understand. Stillborn, I understand. Cancer, I understand. Septicemia, I understand. Surgeries, I understand. Loss of family members, I understand. And I think he just placed me there. And Punitha, you just keep saying that people benefit from me. But do you know that when I find that a person comes to me, forced to come to me by their family members, and he or she is resistant, just wants to curl up and die. And then I start talking. And slowly, instead of this, you understand
Wow.
that when that change happens from resistance to even thinking or talking to me, when they just want to curl up and die and be left alone, when they start changing. Punitha, how do I express the joy and the gratitude that I feel? That is what I feel keeps me living. That when I see that someone is benefited, what joy it gives me that they have come out of their sad space to ensure that they can move forward and get somewhere. That is what keeps me going. So it's not only that people are benefiting, I benefit big time. The amount of love and affection I get from people all over the world. I have 3 Facebook pages. I have my personal, I have Neerja Malik whatever, I've forgotten that word page. And I have Neerja Malik I Inspire, Instagram, so many things. But the joy I get when I see someone who's hurt, miserable, pained, suddenly take in what I'm saying and change. Do you know what I tell people? There are 3 things that I tell people that I'm counseling. 1, think of the word cancer or whatever you're going through as only a word. Nothing more, nothing less. When we talk about a cell phone or we talk about the fan or the window or the table, do we break into sweat? No. When you hear the word cancer. Why? Because for generations, people have feared that. And that burden of fear has come down to us. So think about it only as a word, nothing more, nothing less. You don't burden yourself with the feelings or the meaning. It's only a word. 2, laughter is the best medicine. And 3, think of your treatment as a short detour. Not you've been diagnosed. It is not the be all and end all of existence. Your treatment is just a short detour to get you back to where you were going to be. And sometimes when people tell me, I just tell them one thing. I said, "Listen, how are you so strong?" I said, "You know Spider-Man? He was bitten by a radioactive spider." I said, "I must have had about nearly 70, 80 radiations."
Oh.
You understand?
Yes.
So it all depends on how you look at it. People ask me, "You don't have a uterus or ovaries, do you get joint pains?" No, because Punitha, and I'm going to tell you something very important. I believe that all of us are made in the image of God. Now, God is perfection. It is my birthright, therefore, to be happy and healthy, not pain. So if I do get pain, and I'm about 120 odd kgs, but thanks to God, when I start getting a little bit of pain, I talk to the pain and I say, "Be gone. Just my birthright to be happy and healthy. Get the hell out of here. You're not wanted." Do you understand?
I understand.
So, you know, when you see a Hindi movie, you see any movie and someone gets slapped, do you see that the hand automatically goes up to the face or wherever? Someone's cut their, don't you clutch? What are we doing indirectly? We have healing power in our hands. So nowadays, of course, the movies show one slap, dud, 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 3 times over. And then the person does this. My dear, we have healing power in our hands. So if we start believing in these things, and we start, when I get a pain somewhere, I rub my hands and I touch that point and I feel that the healing is coming to me. So we're all made in the image of God. It is our birthright to be happy and healthy. Our hands are healing. They have the power. Let us use it on ourselves and others and live a happy, rocking life.
That's really a fantastic one, ma'am. That I know everyone has to get that kind of a gutsy saying that yes, we have to live it happily, and we have to take each and everything lightly and move forward. I don't think so. We all are equipped with such a kind of the positivity what you're talking, ma'am. I don't think so. We are yet to get to that kind of a level. That is actually a practice.
Hey, sweetheart, we all have it within us. Okay, so you're talking about a disparity between the young and the old. There was one wonderful cancer patient I met, and she was taking it sweetly. She was taking it with grace. There was no complaining. I asked her, I said, amongst other things, you're diabetic and you've got cancer. How you are smiling through it? I said, she keeps telling me that she's impressed with me. I said, I'm impressed with you. You know what she told me? She said, I consider what is this cancer, I treat it like prasad. Do you understand the word prasad? I'm treating it like prasad because God has given it to me. So He has given me cancer. I'm accepting it. I'm treating it like prasad. And therefore, see, half our problems are when we resist, reject, and fight. You know what I tell my patients, Punitha? I tell them, see, today we have met. You know what I look like, who I am. Tomorrow we meet at a mall or a movie hall or somewhere on the road. My face will light up and yours will light up. You'll say, oh, there's Neerja. And we'll meet, we'll hug and kiss. I said, you are welcoming me as a friend. You are treating me as a friend. Do you know? Treat your treatment as a friend. The knife, it's your friend because it is surgically going to remove what is wrong within. Don't we take a knife and if an apple has got a little bit spoiled, don't we just cut around that area, chuck it and eat the apple? Your knife is your friend. Your chemotherapy is your friend. I used to talk to my chemotherapy. Say the divinity in the chemotherapy, please come into me and destroy only the bad cells. Leave the good ones alone so that my immunity doesn't go low. So it depends on how you look at it. If you're going to say, oh, chemotherapy, that means your mind is rejecting it. Whereas if you welcome it, then mentally, emotionally, you're accepting it. And not only that, therefore physically too, your body will just accept.
Okay, ma'am, there is a few comments like they are very happy to see your video, and also there is a person who is asking what is your favorite quote, and also can you just sing a song for them?
Sing a song. Oh, that is a new one. Whew. When you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. When you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. When you're happy and you know it, and you something, show it. When you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. But by the way, my
Yes, ma'am.
favorite song is Imagine.
Okay.
I love that song and I love the emotions behind it. Okay, guess what? I've got an idea. The next thing I'm going to start doing as a hobby is singing, so that maybe 6 months later or a year later, when you invite me again, I shall sing.
Sure, ma'am. You have really sung very well. Thank you so much. And we also enjoyed it. Thank you very much when we are clapping.
And
Okay. Ma'am, as a conclusion note, what you would like to say to the audience?
I would like to say, first of all, I would just like to say that my love, my prayers, and my blessings are for all of you and all your family members. I have some positive thoughts, which, if I'd had time, I would make you go through them. It takes about 5 minutes. But my last positive thought is this too shall pass. So remember that whatever you're going through, it is temporary. Just as I tell people, your side effects of chemotherapy are temporary. Your side effects of radiation are temporary. Your side effects of the surgery are temporary. All these negative things that we are going through, remember, these are temporary and these too shall pass. Remember that with God's grace, your Guru's grace, your family, your friends, you can overcome everything. My father explained to me that face cancer, don't fight it. My mother taught me something. She said that whatever happens, happens for the best. And I would say I've broken a bone. What is the best in it? But I tell you later on, I realized that all that I've gone through, there was always a lesson that I learned. And these lessons were learned by me so that I could spread them on. What better? Now, my mother turned 90 on the 19th of March. I had my air tickets to fly to Bombay. I live in Chennai, you know that. On the 17th, I wanted to be there for her birthday. I couldn't. But, even at this age, when I call her up, and she might be going through so much, she always tells me, no, today I'm feeling a little bit weak, but this is all age related. And she says, as good as can be, as best in the situation. And she's always smiling. And she has more questions to ask me about how I am. Am I behaving myself? Am I having my medicine on time? What am I doing with my life? So I think I was very lucky to be born into a family where they believed in positivity, where they believed and loved God, and where they knew that if you choose to live, you might as well live to the hilt rather than just fall by the roadside. So, everyone, please remember this too shall pass. Guru, God, friend, family will give you the courage and even the josh to go ahead. There is so much to live for, whether it is your children, whether it is something, have a goal and live towards it. I tell patients, oh, you have a young child. You must. Are you know something? You've got to see the child through school, through college. Oh, they finish college. You must be really waiting to get them married. You understand? Have a goal that you can passionately live for. And then everything works out for the best. That is what I feel.
Well, thank you so much for such a wonderful note. This too shall pass. And also, we should always have a goal so that we can just, our passion drives us to reach there. That is also a nice thing. Thank you so much for accepting and coming us and sharing your 1 hour of time with us. Thank you for blessing us with, I mean, inspiring us with a lot of positive note to take away. I mean, we are very glad that we had you today, and I'm very glad in person that whenever I start something new, I always start it with you. First time I do remember, first time that was my first experience to take a video of a celebrity for Urni. So when I tried to do it with my own mobile, which was not even supporting, but I still took it. So like this is my first live I am trying with Zoom in Facebook,
Oh,
and I
that
did it. And you're
you
always there.
you did
Yes.
it, and how
Yes.
well you did it, Punitha.
Thank you,
I will
ma'am.
tell you something, sweetheart. People think that everyone doesn't go through everything. I know that you're going through tough times. And I will just say, sweetie, what a lovely smile you have. And
Thank
how
you.
beautifully you've handled everything today. My love, my blessings to you and everyone in your family, always, darling.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you
I'm
for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, thank you so much for accepting and being there for me. And whenever I'm in need of it, thank you so much. Uh, and thank you, ma'am. Thanks to all the viewers who's watching. I'm sure Neerja ma'am's interview would have been really inspiring. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for supporting us. Please do support us. And tomorrow we may come out with one interesting topic. I will let you know in the poster. That is naughty, Neerja ma'am.
Oh, you got that expression. Excuse me. I better mind my P's and Q's and I's. Thank you, sweetheart. God bless.